Good afternoon. My name is Barbara Fuller. As Chair of the Board, I welcome you to this January 3, 2024 regular meeting of the Washtenaw County Board of Road Commissioners. Our office coordinator, Aaron Smith, will describe how our meetings operate, how to access the agenda packet, and how people may participate remotely. Aaron.
Thanks, Chair Fuller. There are multiple ways to make public comment during today's board meeting, whether you're joining us in person or virtually. If you're here in person and would like to make public comment, please fill out the sign-in sheet now. If you're joining us virtually, we will ask you to raise your hand at the appropriate time in the agenda. If you're joining us virtually and are experiencing technical issues with audio or video during the meeting, submit a comment in the chat feature and our communications manager will help you troubleshoot. The audio and video of this meeting is being recorded, and a link to the recording will be posted to wcroads.org in the next few days. There are printed copies of today's meeting agenda on the table near the front door, and it is also posted on our website. And now I'll turn it back over to Chair Fuller.
Thank you, Aaron. At this time, would you please join us in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I just realized I failed to ask Aaron to call the roll, having called this meeting to order.
Chair Barb Fuller,
Present.
Vice Chair Rod Green.
Here.
Commissioner Gloria Yamas is absent today. Commissioner Joanne McCullum.
Present.
And Commissioner Jeff Smers.
Present.
And then the following directors are in attendance. Managing Director Matt Washtenaw, Director of Engineering and County Highway Engineer Brent Schlack, Director of Operations Adam Leip, and then Director of Finance and IT Dan Ackerman.
Thank you, Aaron. May I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So moved.
Support. Is there discussion? Seeing none, Aaron, if you would please call the roll.
Commissioner Rod Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Jeff Smers.
Yes.
Commissioner Joanne McCullum.
Yes.
And Commissioner Barb Fuller.
Yes, the agenda is approved as presented. We have one set of minutes to accept today. May I have a motion to accept the board meeting minutes of December 19th, 2023 as presented, appearing on pages 3 through 10 of the packet.
Make that motion.
Support.
Any additions, deletions, or corrections? Seeing none, Aaron, please.
Commissioner Jeff Smers.
Yes.
Commissioner Joanne McCullum.
Yes.
Commissioner Rod Green
Yes.
and Commissioner Barb Fuller.
Yes. Next item on our agenda is public comment. This is the time set aside on the agenda to receive comments from the public. This is not intended to be a period for dialogue. Each person will be allotted 3 minutes to address the board. Aaron will explain how people may be recognized to offer comments.
Thanks, Chair Fuller. Since this is a hybrid meeting with both in-person and virtual attendees, we will take turns between those attending in person and virtually. For our virtual attendees, we have provided some instructions on the screen on how to participate and make public comment. If you're attending this meeting virtually and would like to make comment, please raise your hand now. If you dialed into the meeting from your phone, you can raise your hand by dialing *9. Our communications manager will unmute virtual participants with raised hands one at a time and will announce your username or last 4 digits of your phone number when it is your turn to speak. Please share your name and address before beginning your comments. And then for our in-person attendees, we will start with those who have signed up on the sign-in sheet. If you didn't sign in, you're still welcome to make comment. At this time, we don't have any virtual or in-person attendees that would like to make comment.
Thank you. Our next item is written communications. They appear on pages 11 and 12 of the packet. Commissioners, anything you wish to draw our attention to? If not, we will move along. We will bypass comments to public comment since there was none. No, new business consent agenda. May I have a motion to approve consent agenda items as presented? We have 3 items, 1 through 3, background appearing on pages 13 and 14.
So move.
Support.
Any discussion or questions about any of those 3 items? Seeing none, Aaron, if you would please.
Commissioner Joanne McCullum.
Yes.
Commissioner Jeff Smers.
Yes.
Commissioner Rod Green. And
Yes.
Commissioner Barb Fuller.
Yes, the consent agenda is approved as presented. We have 1 action item today under new business. May I have a motion to approve action item number 1 to acquire a non-motorized pathway easement in Superior Township? The motion appears on page 15, background on pages 29 through 31.
Madam Chair,
That upon the recommendation of the Director of Engineering, County Highway Engineer, and concurrence of the Managing Director, the board hereby approves the acquisition of an 825 square foot non-motorized pathway easement, more particularly described in Exhibit A from the property owner, John Allen Lee Thomason, located upon a parcel of property commonly known as 9400 Geddes Road, Superior Township, Michigan, with a corresponding tax identification number of J-10-35-200-008 in the amount of $1,000.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Discussion. Managing Director Washtenaw, do you have any background you'd like to share with us on this item?
Yeah, I'd be happy to give a summary of the project. This project is a partnership with Superior Township. We were joint applicants for a TAP application, that's Transportation Alternative Program. The township has been successful in the past at administering, along with the Road Commission, several pathway projects along Prospect and Geddes, and Brent Schlack, our Director of Engineering, is going to kind of give you just the limits in an aerial that you'll soon see on your screen.
Wonderful. Thank you. Hi, Brent.
Hello, good afternoon. Brent Schlack, Director of Engineering. Thanks, Matt. Yeah, we have a partnership with Superior Township. We actually have an agreement that came before the board with Superior Township to partner with them on a TAP grant for a pathway. And I'll kind of give you an aerial. You should be able to see that on your monitors. So there's an existing pathway out there now that runs from just west of Prospect Road all the way to just east of Harris Road to Andover. The existing pathway was put in through developer funds and some TAP funds similar to what is being spent here. The TAP funds that we have an agreement and we're partnering with Superior Township is from Andover to Wexford. That's the segment that we'll be installing the pathway this year. The parcel that we're talking about is the one you can see with, they have the circle driveway there. So the property owner is very supportive of the project and was welcoming the project. And so Kurt Roche, our right-of-way manager, he's the one that prepared everything, and that's what's in front of you today.
Any
Yeah.
questions? I'm sorry, Commissioner
Go ahead.
Green.
Thank you. Do you know what the amount of the TAP grant was?
Yeah, it's
Just wondering.
it's just under 600,000.
Okay,
It's like 590 some $1,000 is the TAP award, and that's what was in our agreement with the town.
and that's money that does not have to be paid back, correct?
Correct. So the way the TAP projects work is any cost in addition in excess of the TAP amount, the grant amount, is the township's to bear. So this right-of-way acquisition will get billed to the township per the agreement.
Thank you. That's federal money. Is it federal money?
Not the right-of-way acquisition. The federal TAP funds go directly to construction only.
Oh, I see. Okay. Thank you.
So any of the engineering costs or right-of-way acquisition costs, that would be borne by the township. We would perform all those things and then bill them, invoice them for the agreement.
Thank you.
Would you back out so we can see?
I
it
can.
and put this, so it connects to the one at Andover?
Andover, correct. Yeah,
And
it's
then
hard to
goes
see, but you can see the pathway, existing pathway. So it'll connect there and it will continue along that south side of Geddes Road to Wexford.
Does the pathway continue west of Harris? It looks like there's a little,
It does,
Stop there.
yes. Yep, so it continues west of Harris, actually all the way to west of Prospect.
Oh, nice.
So you can see the pathway here. So there's an
Through the
existing
trees. Mhm.
pathway system along Gettys Road that this will
Mhm.
connect with.
I use this pathway regularly, so I'm kind of familiar with it. But I'm wondering, are there going to be some other easements required in order to finish this?
I'm not quite sure. I know Kurt's got the plan set and he's working through that. I'm not, I'd have to follow with him and find out what the extent, if there's any other right of way acquisition needed. I can report back though.
It's a great project.
Mhm.
No, they've done a great job of applying for over time and really they're developing a network and connecting rooftops. Because there's a lot of residential houses in this area that would benefit from a connected trail system.
Any other questions for Brent?
All right,
Thank you
thank
for
you.
that. I really appreciate the maps. That's really helpful.
Yeah.
Any further questions or discussion? Aaron, if you would, please.
Commissioner Rod Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Joanne McCollum.
Yes.
Commissioner Jeff Smurs.
Yes.
And Commissioner Burkholder.
Yes, the right-of-way acquisition has been approved. Next up, we have reports, and I see that both of our county commission liaisons are with us today. Who wants to go first? Caroline, Crystal? Up, Caroline hit the buzzer first. So good afternoon, Commissioner Sanders.
Good afternoon, Road Commission. Happy New Year, first of all, to everyone. I hope your families are well and everyone is safe. I really don't have anything to report. We do have a meeting this evening at 7 p.m., our first meeting of the year. Of course, we always make the invitation open for anyone that wants to join us, either in person, virtually, or send comment by email. And I just look forward to continuing to be a part of your commission and the work that you are doing. So great work. And I do think I have a scheduled meeting coming up with Matt so that we can face-to-face meet each other.
Looking
So,
forward to it.
That's it. That's it for me. Thank you for all the work
Thank you,
that do.
Commissioner. Thank you. Commissioner Light.
Good afternoon and happy new year, everyone. As Commissioner Sanders said, we have our first meeting of the year this evening. And so I'm sure at our next meeting with the Road Commission, we'll possibly have some updates. But just hope all and everyone's families are well and you have enjoyed your holiday and hopefully some time off. But we look forward to all that is to come. And I'm excited about the new non-motorized pathway in Superior because that's where I reside. So you all have a good rest of the day and glad that I could be in the presence of you all.
Thank you. Thank you. Commissioners, any questions for either of our liaisons? No. Okay. We will move along to reports of the road commissioners, starting with Commissioner McCollum.
I have no report. Thank you.
Commissioner Green,
I have no report. Thank you.
Commissioner Smurs.
No report the holidays.
I will report that on December 20th, I attended the quarterly meeting of WATS, which is the Washtenaw Area Transportation Study. And the hour before this meeting, I was the road commissioner on call for the chat session, and we did not have any visitors today. We will move on to the report of the managing director, his staff, and any other updates that you wish to share with us.
Thank you, Chair Fuller. I'd first like to start out to see if there were any questions on any of the reports contained in the board packet.
I don't see any.
All right, very good. I will then ask our Director of Operations to come on out. It's been rather quiet but challenging. Sure, he will report.
Yes, Adam Wade, Director of Operations. Good afternoon. Yeah, as Matt kind of highlighted, it's been a little bit different here the last month or so than what we normally do in November, December, and the first part of January here. So we did spread a little bit of salt today, so we're getting back to normal a little bit for us. Had the crews come in this morning and just kind of keep an eye on things. It was getting a little cold, a little faster than we thought, and just hovering around freezing. So little bit of moisture on the road. So with us not having any salt down whatsoever, we wanted to be around in case there were some areas that became slippery. So did that, and crews were washing up by lunchtime and kind of working on maintenance and prepping for other jobs hopefully next week. So routine maintenance does continue throughout the county in between some of these more rain events we've been having. It's been a little unseasonably warm, so it's been nice to do some drainage improvements and some forestry work, but limiting a little bit when it's as wet as it is right now. Try not to make the road worse off than when we get out there to start. Staff is actively working with townships, though. We've reached out to all the townships and starting to work with them to produce some of the estimations for the local road program for 2024. Question. Goal is to do our first round of estimate reviews later part of this month. And some of those actually to the point of presenting to the townships and may result in some township agreements a lot earlier than normal. So we kind of keep moving that ball forward, and we developed that program here the past few years, and we're just trying to keep moving that forward to help the townships in their budget season as well, so they can consider some of these projects. It makes it a little easier. It's not as challenging for them to get work together when they can budget for it earlier in the season. And that has kind of been it. During all that, we're also estimating for the primary road projects as well. But that's kind of an ongoing thing that we do throughout the entire year. So always trying to plan ahead to the next year as best we can.
Any questions for Adam? I see there are trusses being put in place, aren't they?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Right now, there is
Yeah.
something this
Yeah,
morning.
we actually, they're tougher than I am. I saw their work lights on this morning when I got here, and I thought, all right, I would have thought it would have been a rain day, but yeah, so another wall, the easterly wall now is taking shape. So the
Okay.
wall facing here that we can see now, and yeah, trusses are starting to float through the air. So it's exciting time. We're moving forward still. So salt in there in no time, hopefully.
Very impressive to pull in and see that back there.
It is amazing.
And then the
It's-
crane
it's
this
large.
morning was just like, oh,
Yes. It's very neat to see right outside the window.
yeah. All right.
Thank you, Adam.
Thank you.
All right, Director of Engineering, Brent Schlack.
Hello, good afternoon again. Brent Schlack, Director of Engineering. For our engineering report, staff's working on finalizing some of our upcoming bids for the MDOT bid packs for this coming construction season. We're also working on some of our planned projects for 25 and 26. So we, with all the different requirements through MDOT, we need to start that now for 25 and even for some of our 26 projects. And then we are also working with several of the townships, working through the Water Resource Stormwater Grant Program. That's through the ARPA funds that the county had set aside for water resources. It's the remaining, it was a $2 million total program. 800 was in phase one. So this will be $1.2 million will be available for this portion of the grant program. And the applications are due on the 16th. So we've had several townships reach out and eager to work through this program and wanting to submit their own applications due by the 16th. Other than that, Kurt did respond back. There will be 2 other parcels along Getty's Road that will be that we'll have to have some type of right-of-way acquisition with.
You have questions on that point? Are is the TAP money in place for those additional
So
pieces or?
yeah, so
segments?
like Matt said, so the agreement that we have with Superior Township, that will cover the construction costs. So additional money for right of way would then be the responsibility of Superior Township. And that's all spelled out within the agreement. So we'll work in good faith with those property owners and come to some agreement, and then ultimately Superior Township will pay those funds.
But my question is there money already through a TAP grant for construction and now they?
Yes, there is.
Great.
Yes, so it's the $592,000 TAP was awarded for that pathway project.
Which is larger than what you showed us today? It's-
No, So the.
I'm confused.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I know. I
reinstated.
think I'm confusing it. So the TAP award for Superior Township, well, between Andover and Wexford
Right,
was $592,000, right around there.
okay.
And that was to construct the pathway on the south side of Getty's Road for construction only. The right of way or additional costs through our agreement with Superior Township would be Superior Township's cost.
Commissioner Fuller, I think what Brent is explaining, it's one project. And Commissioner Green had asked the question, will there be additional parcels impacted?
Yeah.
The answer to that question is there'll be 2 more parcels impacted
That's right.
that will need right of way acquisition.
Oh, but it's not
Same
additional
project.
segments. It's
Correct.
just within,
Right.
got
In
it.
that project, yeah, sorry. Thanks,
Okay.
Matt.
No problem.
No, okay.
So that concludes my engineering report unless there's any questions. Oh, yes, go
I
ahead.
just had a
Sure.
question about that. So the source of that funding, is it federal or state?
Federal.
It's federal.
So,
Okay,
but
that's what I,
for the construction,
right, okay, thank you.
You Superior Township residents are paying for the right of way
That's right.
acquisition.
I get it.
correct.
Okay,
Thank you for the clarification.
No problem.
Yeah.
Sorry to confuse things.
No, it's fine.
So that will conclude my engineering report unless there's any questions.
which townships are applying for the ARPA money?
I'll have to get back to you. There's several of them that have reached out. Of course, we reached out to, I think almost all 20 townships. And I can get back to you with a list though. My next
My
week.
question would be, are there more requests than there are dollars available?
I'm sure there will be, yes.
And will there be a lottery? How does that work
Not sure how
for them?
yeah, they score them and then the Water Resources comes up with how they choose what ones will be funded.
So this is under the aegis of the Water Resources Commissioner, and we would just be partnering.
Yeah, we don't submit the applications. The township submits the application. We just assist the township,
So the
With
money will
their-
go to the township or to the drain commissioner?
to go to the township.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and then
Just-
they can use our local matching dollars to help match those projects.
All right. Yeah, at some future point, if you could give us an
Yeah.
overview of.
I
who
can.
Applied and who got the contracts.
Right.
Did you have a question?
Well, just one more.
Sure.
Is it fair to assume that all TAP grants are federal?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's what thank you.
Yes. Yeah, I would be happy to report back on, because we've had the phase 1 on who was selected for phase 1. And then, by the 16th, we'll know like who has submitted applications for the next round and we can report back with that.
That's great. Anything we can do to encourage our townships to leverage that matching dollars to make them bigger and better than ever is great.
Yes. Yeah, it's been a great program.
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Brent.
Thank you.
All right. Last but not least, we have Dan Ackerman, Director of Finance and IT.
Good afternoon, Board. Dan Ackerman, Director of Finance and IT. Happy New Year to you all.
Thank
I hope
you.
you had some time to spend, I hope you had some time to spend with family and unplug a little bit. And it's always important to take a pause, right? And kind of enjoy life a little bit. So I definitely know that because the first day back for work here is always usually pretty busy. That's kind of why I'm dressed a little differently than I normally dress. We're doing our physical inventory counts in the stock room. To have good controls in place, you want to have different people counting than are receiving and ordering and issuing all the parts back there. So we take three folks from the office, Jamie Kraus, who is in finance, and Tiffany Lobestall, who's in operations in the office here. We go back and we partner with Jeff Mann and Warren Koppel and some of the mechanics. And we count everything that's back there. There's 82 pages of different parts and things. So it takes a while. We've done a lot to really refine the process though. Definitely kudos to Jeff and Warren for keeping things neat and tidy back there. Just about everything, we can't put labels on fuel, of course, but just about anything we can put a label on has a label. So we make sure we're counting what we think we're counting. And they've done a lot to, if there are obsolete parts, to remove those. So if we can kind of minimize everything that's back there, it makes it a little bit easier to count. So, and as far as numbers are concerned, just for the stock room, which also would again include fuel, unleaded diesel, it's about $400,000. So significant cost that's there. So definitely very important. And again, it's important to just have that check and balance to have the office folks partnering with the folks in the stock room and the mechanics, just to make sure the counting goes smoothly. So we're just about done with the counts. Then we have to total everything up, enter into the system. Then we get a variance report. So basically we're comparing what our financial system says to what we actually physically observed. And we get a variance report for all 83 pages showing the differences. As the finance guy, I'm always interested in dollars. So what are the larger dollar adjustments? And, you know, certainly we have an opportunity to recount things if we want to. But I just want to give kudos to Jeff Mann, because we'll provide the variance report to him. Again, 83 pages of things that we count, and he's interested in it all. So for instance, we may count filter 142. The books may say we have 2, and maybe we counted 1, and he'd be like, oh, I swear there was another one back there. So I'll inevitably get pages and pages back of corrections from the recounts. And that's just really a testament to Jeff and just how dedicated he is. Such an honest person. Again, you know, you don't want to blindly trust. That's why, again, we have the checks and balances in place. But, you know, as far as the person that's running the stockroom, you want someone like a Jeff Mann. Just, you know, takes his job very seriously, is very diligent. And, you know, some of these adjustments we're looking at could be a couple of dollars in adjustments, but it's important to him to get it as accurate as possible. So again, I just would like to say kudos to Jeff Mann for how seriously he takes things and how well things are organized. And, you know, it works well. It works well. So I don't know if there's any questions about that at all, but something we do every year, and our auditors will ask and just make sure that we do that. And it's a good time to reset as well if there's any discrepancies, and you have a good starting basis from January 1 going forward. Any questions on that at all? So kind of a big thing that we do.
Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner Smers.
Just a comment.
Mhm.
I've done similar inventories. I don't envy you. Glad you guys take it serious.
Yes.
Glad you're taking it serious. That's it.
Yes. Yep. Okay, great. So also busy time for finance. Today, besides our physical inventory counts in the board meeting, is also our check date and when we pay our vendors. So just want to acknowledge Tracy Balkwell, who handles our payroll, and Jamie Kraus, who handles our accounts payable. We all 3 of us really wanted to get everything in the system and updated, so we didn't have to worry about anything coming back on Wednesday. You know, we can send out our funding to hit on Wednesday. Normally we would have Monday, the Monday and Tuesday of a check week. We didn't have either one of those, but we all felt strongly enough that we wanted to get everything processed and taken care of. So again, we can enjoy the holiday, and our employees will be paid, you know, promptly and accurately. So they've been working really hard, especially last week. It's a bit of a ghost town around here, but finance was definitely hopping. And, you know, fortunately we were successful in that initiative, and everything ran smoothly. And again, knowing the inventory counts were today, we just wanted to try and get some of those things out of the way. So I just want to acknowledge those folks. Michigan Transportation Funds, we want to talk that if you want to look at the last page of your packet.
Did the check clear?
The check, yep, the check cleared or will be clearing. So for November 2023, Michigan Transportation Funds are up 12% from November 22 and 7% for the year. I did look, and November 23 was slightly down, or sorry, November 22 was slightly down from 21. So, you know, again, you have to look at multiple years sometimes. I want to say the collections for the marijuana tax is the last few months of the year, so that's been making a bit of an impact as well. And Matt, I don't know, have you heard anything about, sometimes we receive notices from CRA when things are up or down by, more than a few percentage points. I have not heard anything. Okay, so obviously it's higher, so, that's the way we would want it to be, but, certainly, as far as the budget's concerned, our numbers are looking really, really good. And we just have one more month for December of 23 to get those numbers in and then, we'll know what that number is for the year. So I would be remiss if I did not thank Mother Nature for assisting the budget for 2023. My family always just rolls their eyes. My wife would like it to be a white Christmas. I'd rather it not. Again, just looking at the budget, so I've not crunched all the numbers, but I'm certain there'll be a little bit of savings from all the winter line items. And I always say, I'd rather it not snow until January 1 than it can snow a little bit. So maybe that's what's happening now. So again, apologies to those of you that like a white Christmas, but Mother Nature, I think, helped us out a little bit towards the end of the year. For sure. And then for IT, we're still working with the Windows 11 testers, and that's going well. There's various year-end things that IT has been involved with, including some stock items, just making sure that we have everything in stock by the end of the year. And also, IT is making sure that no major changes are occurring. Last part of the year, the first part of the new year, we have multiple staff off each day. So that's not the time to install a new software or make some major updates. So, some of that is IT wants to just kind of stay the course. And that's all I have.
Commissioner McCollum.
Yes, so the Wi-Fi, that's not network we're not able to put our ID and password in.
Right.
Was that anything to do with someone doing something or?
No, we're still looking into that. But yeah, it's nothing anyone did per se. So, but I believe that Chris provides something for you guys to have as a workaround.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, but we're looking at, trying to restore that as well.
I still had to call him, but anyway.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
He was very helpful.
okay, well, that's good. Yeah.
Thanks.
Mhm. Any other questions? Okay, great.
Thank you,
Well,
Dan.
thank you.
Appreciate it. That's all we have to report.
Thank you, Matt.
Hmm.
Anything else from commissioners? All right, please note that our next meeting is January 16th. There will be both a working session that convenes at 9 a.m., a regular board meeting convening then at 1 o'clock the same afternoon. The next chat session is January 10th. Commissioner Green is the commissioner on duty that day from noon to 1 p.m. And if there is no further business to come before the board, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make that motion.
Support.
Aaron, if you would please call the roll.
Commissioner Jeff Smurs.
Yes.
Commissioner Joanne McCollum.
Yes.
Commissioner Rod Green.
Yes.
And Commissioner Burt Fuller.
Yes, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.